Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, welcome. My name is Emily and this is my channel, The Candle Nurse. This is the third installment of Let's Talk About the Scents for our Survivor of Jericho Hill pre-order. This pre-order is going to be open this coming up Friday, August 23rd from 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. This will stay open until the following Friday, August 30th at 7 p.m. is when it will close. If you haven't seen parts 1 and 2, go back and watch those. Part 1 gives a lot of information about the pre-order. I'll give you guys a quick overlay. There is 30 blends that will be available in the Jericho Hill series. There is 10 signature blends from the launch that are going to be available. There is going to be several different sizes that you can choose from 6-piece Serenity shape bag, an 18 Serenity shape bag, and then a 4-ounce, 8-ounce, and 12-ounce souffles and loaf. Okay, the 18 count bag is 12 ounces. It's equivalent to the loaf. So whatever your heart desires. We went through pricing, all that stuff. Biggest thing is I'll put my website up here. Go check it out. There's a blog post that's got all the information. Newsletters have been sent out. There is a 10% off code for the first 50 purchases. So if you go in to make a purchase, put in Dark Tower 10. I'll highlight it up here, and that will get you 10% off of your order if you are one of the first 50 orders. So go check it out. So we are following up the end here. I'm going to go over the last 9 fragrances that I have available, and then I will just quickly go over which signature blends that will be available and read off their scent notes. Thank you so much for being with us. I definitely want to give a shout out to the ladies that had me on the live on YouTube. They are amazing. I appreciate them so much, and all of you guys that participated in the live. It was so much fun. I was nervous. I was just like sitting there smiling the whole time, but I am so grateful for the platform to be able to discuss the fragrances with everybody. I hope I make you guys proud in this pre-order. The next scent that we are going to talk about is Susanna's Song. Got to go back to the first video to see what we're talking about. Survivor Jericho Hill is based off of and inspired by Stephen King's The Dark Tower book series, which I have here. Roland Duchesne is a gunslinger. He's the last gunslinger that is trying to save the Dark Tower, which is the center point, the nexus point of all of our worlds in Stephen King's mind. There is a multiverse, and the gunslinger, he's the last one that was their job, was to protect, peacekeeping, protect the tower and protect the beams that lead up to the tower. So that's kind of like a backstory. He has a whole team called the Quartet, which is one made from many, that they're just destined to be together, that are fighting to save the Dark Tower. Susanna's Song is the next inspired fragrance. The meaning: Susanna is a main character that belongs in Roland's second quartet. Her character is originally an amputee with dissociative identity disorder, which is multiple personalities, or formerly known as multiple personalities. During their quest, her 2 different personalities, Odetta and Detta, merge into one balanced individual called Susanna. So there's actually a book that's called Song of Susanna, a very interesting book in the series that's towards the end. Her fragrances are burnt sugar, vanilla bean, cashmere cream, pink sugar, Palo Santo, fire roasted marshmallows, and roasted pine cones. Now, when we did the live with the girls, Summer suggested to add sweet lavender to Susanna's Song, and so I'm going to do that, not for this launch, but I will be adding it, and I'm going to call it Summer Song. I know that's cheesy, but that's kind of what the girls said on the live, and I thought it's such a cute take on it, and it makes a new blend, so excited to do that. So this one is a beautiful Palo Santo fire roasted marshmallows pine cone up front. The cashmere cream is sitting in the background. That burnt sugar, vanilla bean, and pink sugar really sweeten this up, soften it, and make this a very beautiful gender neutral fragrance, which if you end up reading the books, or you've read the books, or you listen to the books, they are available on Audible. You'll understand why I wanted to mix kind of masculinity with femininity because of her character. Very beautiful. Next up is the Crimson Feast. This one, the meaning behind this one, I'm not going to go too deep into it because it's a little bit more than PG rated, and I just mean that in its context, it's a little gory. This is where Stephen King went a little gory, but the Crimson Feast is something that happens towards the end. The scent that I created with it just really reminds me of the scenario, but that's as far as I'll go into it. I don't want to say any more about it, but the Crimson Feast: Palo Santo, cinnamon vanilla donut, masala chai, and pink chiffon. So this one is masala chai forward. The pink chiffon you can definitely pick out. You get a little bit of doughiness in the background of this one. So you get like a cinnamon, sugar, doughy. It's just, to me, it smells like the dough before it's cooked. The masala chai is up front. The palo is adding a really nice smoky scent. This is almost edible. And the pink chiffon is really in the background. That is adding a brightness and a sweetness to this. Crimson Feast, wax on the lips. I'm kissing the wax. Okay. All right. Next up, the Lone Gunslinger. The meaning behind the Lone Gunslinger. Roland Deschain. He is the main character. Roland Deschain of Gilead is the main character of the Dark Tower saga. He is descended from a long line of gunslingers, peacekeepers, and diplomats of his society. He is the last surviving gunslinger and is possessed by a quest to reach the Dark Tower, the axis upon which infinite numbers of parallel worlds rotate. He's doing that so that he can save the Dark Tower. The Dark Tower is in trouble. There's a reason why he's the only gunslinger left. And the scent notes are vanilla, tobacco, white tea, saffron, sandalwood, and tonka. It's very beautiful. The tobacco, you get a sweet vanilla, a sweet tobacco that's got a little bit of a cherry essence to it. The white tea adds a wonderful uplifting blend. And then you have that sandalwood and the tonka that bring a little bit of that masculinity. It almost gives, it's not leather, but it almost gives you like he's got his leather holster on. This can be enjoyed by, it's definitely a gender neutral fragrance. I like the idea of creating a fragrance for him that had a slight masculinity to it, because he's really hardcore. He really is portrayed as like a Dirty Harry, Clint Eastwood character with no regard for others and a selfish dream to reach the Dark Tower at whatever cost. And you learn about his life and the emotional side of him, and that's why this fragrance just has such a deep meaning for me. Yeah, what's really cool is the handles of his guns are sandalwood grip. So it's like, I love the idea of like tobacco because he loves to pipe smoke and he likes his guns. He takes care of his guns. They mean everything to him. They're his gunslinger guns, are what he earned. And so that's a really meaningful fragrance to me when I smell it. Okay, next up, the Man in Black. Ooh, the Man in Black. The meaning of this one, the Man in Black is the main antagonist of the Dark Tower series. He goes by many names, and he goes by many names that you've seen in other Stephen King books. He is Randall Flagg, he is Walter Bragg, there's so many others, I forgot to write them down, but basically he is somebody that is inside of a lot of Stephen King's stories. He's kind of like the mysterious, scary Man in Black, but you also learn something from him. Very intriguing. So the fragrance is leather, vetiver, jasmine, rum, bergamot, and pepper. I really wanted to give him a fragrance that was almost like leather, and leather is the first thing you get and vetiver is the next. The jasmine in here is not very floral. It's such a light floral and really complements the fragrance. You get a little bit of the booziness from the rum. The bergamot in this one makes this masculine, and the pepper gives it like a deep spice. You smell this and I feel like you're gonna be like, yeah, that's the Man in Black. Yeah. It's not harsh as in like, I think it's off-putting or aggressive, but if you really break it down, when you first smell it and you take that first whiff, you're getting that leather and the vetiver, and then all of a sudden it opens up to something really nice and ends there. So that's the Man in Black. Okay, next up is the Tower. We have fresh strawberry slices, warm pound cake, and whipped cream with vanilla birch. This is a standard strawberry cake and vanilla birch tree. The strawberry cake is really showcased in this fragrance. You get the strawberry slices, you get a cake note, you get like a creamy whipped cream vanilla, and the vanilla birch is just hanging out in the back, adding a nice accent to the fragrance. So if you're in a strawberry cake type of person, this is not the strawberry fields, this isn't your strawberry jam, strawberry shortcake. This is more of, if you've tried my strawberry frost, strawberries at the beach, that type of strawberry, that's what you're gonna get here. Strawberry pound cake and vanilla birch type fragrance. Very beautiful. I think very beautiful, very kind of wintry. Next up is The World Has Moved On. The meaning behind this is the phrase is used during the Dark Tower series. It means that things have changed and that the world is now profoundly different from what it once was. The change has not been for the better. So The World Has Moved On is kind of a really sad fragrance, a very sad meaning. Black pepper, elemi, ginger, incense, amber, tonka, bean, smoked papyrus, cedar, raspberry, and rose. Yeah, this is more of a deeper fragrance. You get a little bit more of that incense, which adds a little bit of a powderiness to it. The elemi is like a balsamic type fragrance. You definitely get the amber, the tonka, which makes this, a man could wear this, but it is a gender neutral fragrance. Your smoked papyrus, your cedar, your amber, and your tonka, and your incense really make this a deep fragrance. When you smell it, it's beautiful. And what it kind of reminds me of is of a place that once was. That's just kind of desolate, but beautiful at the same time. Like maybe there's like a post-apocalyptic scenario where you kind of just see that it's just gone, but then there's like a beautiful flower in the distance that's popped up to give you some life. Yeah. It's more incensey, more dark type of a fragrance. It fits it really well. The raspberry and the rose are not very prominent. They're just there to add as a nice blend in the fragrance. But this is more of a deep fragrance for those of you out there. If you're not like that much into the pepper, the incense, the ginger adds the ginger and the elemi actually work together. It's like a balsamic and ginger type fragrance that works and adds a little bit of lightness to the fragrance. So it's not totally lost and desolate, but I want to bring on an experience. And I feel like this one brings on that the world has moved on and not necessarily for the better. Okay, the Rider is one that I don't have on me right now. It's peach, plum, peony, violet, leather, patchouli, and vanilla. I wanted to dedicate a fragrance that is inspired by the author of The Dark Tower, which is Stephen King. So I wanted to give a scent that was inspired by him. The scent is a plum and parchment fragrance. Very beautiful. The fruits are on top. The parchment and paper type fragrances on the bottom. All right, Time's the Thief of Memory. Lavender buds, clary sage, warm leather, tonka, vanilla, orris, cashmere, and amber. This one is something that's very interesting to me because the lavender buds in here are that. The lavender, you have to like lavender, but there's something kind of clean about the fragrance. And the warm leather is coming forward to me. It's like the saddle. If you've ever been around horses, what the leather on the saddle smells like. It's very beautiful. This one's deep. The cashmere, the amber, the leather. The vanilla does give it a little bit of roundness to it, but this one is much more deep. You have to like lavender. You have to like a little bit of masculinity. You've got to like leather. Hardcore lavender. You've got to like sage. You've got to like leather. All right, Timeless Days and Gentle Nights. This one is, okay, so the saying really is, and I said it kind of earlier in a different part, I think, when they say long days and pleasant nights, that's kind of a salutation that you say, and it's respectful, and they usually respond with, may you have twice the number. So I didn't want to use the long days, pleasant nights, because that is a statement straight from Stephen King's book. That's his work. So I did Timeless Days and Gentle Nights because I feel like it is a couple different scenarios. It's a salutation, but it's also the scenario of the palavers that Roland has with different people that take care of him, his quartet, how they kind of survive by the will that they have to finish the quest of the Dark Tower, to reach the Dark Tower. So whenever they can, they try to palaver. They have by firelight, and they have drinks and food and that type of thing. And so this Timeless Days and Gentle Nights is dark red wine, cinnamon, black currants, and aged oak. This is a very beautiful wine fragrance that you do get like a deep grape, maybe like a Concord grape. The cinnamon is not forward. You're not smelling like cooking cinnamon, baking cinnamon, red hot cinnamon. There's just a little bit of a spice that blends really well with the black currant. And to me, you get a little bit of an oak barrel type note in the scent. So what it really reminds me of is California Cab from Kringle. This isn't a dupe for it or anything, but it reminds me of how that transforms on warm when you're burning it. That when you first get it, you get that deep red, dark grape fragrance. And when you burn that candle, it just comes alive. It was, at first I was kind of like, whatever, another great fragrance. And then when I burned that candle, you get the oak, you get the currant. It was like, wow, right? This one is my wow. If you like a deep red wine, it's not too boozy, try this one. This is definitely a very beautiful wine fragrance. And the last one in our series is Wasteland. This is sour cherry, saffron, osmanthus, olive, apricot, and wood smoke. So Wasteland is the title of one of the books. And this one was one that I really loved that is a mix between Lost Cherry from Tom Ford and Cherry Smoke from Tom Ford mixed with a bonfire, fireside embers type fragrance. And the meaning by that is I wanted it to come off as a wasteland. Kind of like The World Has Moved On, where this one though, you get something very seductive, very sweet. That deep dark cherry comes off a little bit top when you're smelling it as like the sour cherry note, but then it's deepened by saffron. You don't get olive in here. You're not getting the apricot, but you definitely get that fiery ember mixed with it. So it's almost like something that was beautiful has been destroyed, and it's a little bit of that beautifulness is still left around. So that's Wasteland. So that's it from the Survivor Jericho Hill series. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. The 10 fragrances that we're bringing on top of this will be 40 fragrances available for the pre-order. The signature blends from the launch are Aquaman D. Aquaman D was Vanilla Bean Noel, Fire Roasted Marshmallows, Salty Sea Air, and Roasted Pine Cones. The second fragrance is Ashes to Ashes. This is a fan favorite. By the Fireplace type, Smoky Vanilla Embers, Toasted Marshmallows, Sugar Cookie Royale, and Palo Santo. Beach After Dark. This is my house blend for beach nights. S'mores, Beechwood, Salty Sea Air, Fire Roasted Marshmallows, and creamy vanilla. We also are going to bring back Come On Sammy. This is smoky vanilla ember, sandalwood, cedarwood, leather, rich amber, palo santo, and creamy vanilla. After that, we have Dad's Gone Hunting. Dad's Gone Hunting is vanilla birch, beach after dark, house blend, fire roasted marshmallows, and roasted pine cones. Lady in White was a fan favorite. Beach After Dark, house blend, salty pretzel, whipped cream, and wedding cake. My Perfect Christmas was voted back. Fresh fir needles, dry woody cedar, sandalwood, vanilla bean Noel, and vanilla balm. This is my take on Bath & Body Works Perfect Christmas. Just smells like Christmas to me. Again, Purple Pillow Palace. This is lavender marshmallow, beach after dark, house blend, ice vanilla woods, and sweet lavender. Number 9, Sweet Baby Bear. This one came in, it was just like the marathon runner where it started slow and then it just picked up momentum. It smells so good. This is strawberry pound cake type, Bath & Body Works type, fire roasted marshmallows, Palo Santo, smoky vanilla embers, and that pink sugar. And last but not least is the number 1 fragrance that sold out twice is The Cellar. This is mulled apples, fresh fig, pink pepper, warm musk, and cedarwood. And that's it, you guys. I am so excited. I'm so grateful for you. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope that you guys enjoyed the series. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you are interested to be notified every time I post a video. We are super ecstatic for a pre-order. The turnaround time is 6 weeks. If we get done faster, we'll ship faster, but the goal is 6 weeks. Our shipping time will be 10 business days. No holidays or weekends are included in that. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Take care.